from Dale Martin. He says, hey guys, I just played in my very first poker cash game. It was a 2-4 limit table. I just wanted to test the waters and bought in for the minimum of 20. And man, oh man, it's like playing with a combination of homeless people and nursing home residents. There is no eyeballing of opponents. Most are folks in their golden years, staring into space or lost in depression. Kind of comical, but it's a great beginner's learning experience. My first 5 hands were folded, and I ended up losing the entire $20 in 10 minutes, which did not affect me in the least. At least the anxiety and nervousness is conquered. Do I stay at these tables for the time being, or do you suggest I move up to 1-2 no limit?
First of all, this is the best explanation of a 2-4 limit game ever.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Well, a couple things I will say to Dale. One, yes, this is what you're going to see at every 2-4 limit table anywhere in the world, as far as I can tell. That's not real poker. It's the lowest level, so it's going to attract the people that want to play at the lowest level. And everybody's going to stay in. You're going to have the cards. You're not going to be able to bluff, any of that kind of stuff. That being said, 1-2 no limit is a completely different animal.
Yeah.
I would say if you're going to buy into the 2-4 game, don't buy in for the minimum there. So that $20 wasn't going to last you very long, no matter how well you did. Right. So at least buy in for $40, $50, $60 or something like that. Give yourself some play. But obviously, if you're only buying it for 20, you're not going to be able to buy into a 1-2 game for less than 60 anywhere that I've seen, I think. And really probably more is what you need. And that could all be gone in an instant.
One hand, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So I wouldn't make that jump quite yet. It seems to me that new and getting used to the flow of poker, and 2-4 limit is perfect for that. To sit down and learn the etiquette and how everything works. So I would play that a couple more times at least, even though you're not playing great poker. Once you feel comfortable with it, then you can consider doing something else. But I would not make the jump from 2-4 limit to 1-2. I would try to find maybe a 4-8 game or 3-6 or something, a limit game that's a little bit bigger, where people are actually playing poker. And start with that. Or I would switch into maybe one of these, $20, $30, $50 daily tournaments or something, and get your nervousness out on that before you step in the 1-2 no limit, because that's going to be a very expensive lesson.
Yeah, here's the deal. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I don't know what Dale likes to play. Like, he said it was his first poker cash game, but does he play no limit, tournaments? Does he play no limit online for fun? Has he had experience in no limit? Because that, to me, like 2-4 limit, when I was first learning to play poker, if you said to me, all right, Chris, you're going to go play first time ever for real money, what are you going to do? When I got introduced to the game, it was through no limit. It was no limit tournaments. It was no limit on TV. I didn't even know limit really existed till I met Scott, to be honest. So for me, I would never have played limit first. I would have said, hey, I'm just going to take this $100 or whatever it is I'm going to buy in for the no limit, and I'm going to say, this is a learning experience, this is entertainment for me, and I'm going to see how I do playing the game I want to play. Mm-hmm. If he wants to play limit, you're absolutely 100% right. Buying in for 20 is not the wise choice, because let's say, just writing his letter alone, the first 5 hands he folded, then he lost $20 in 10 minutes. Well, how'd you do that? Well, you found a hand you wanted to play, and you probably played it for a raise, or you played a raise, and when you're playing 2-4, by the time you get to the river, $20 is going to be gone if you don't win that one hand. So you have to buy in for at least a rack, to sort of, stave off the ebb and flow of limit poker. So if you're going to play limit, and you're going to play 2-4 to get used to how the game works, then buy in for more. But if you're going to play where you want to play with people who actually give some thought to playing, I don't even know if 3-6 is even big enough to do that. But,
yeah, probably. It's slightly better.
Yeah, but 1-2 no limit, for me, when I first played, the first thing I did was I played a tournament. I played online, and I played for no money almost at all. I played for a $5 buy-in, and I got used to how poker played online, no limit poker, but I didn't play for money, cash. I played a tournament. So that helped me. But the first time I sat down for real money at a real table, it was 1-2 no limit at Foxwoods. It was the first time I ever did it, and I just did it. I just jumped in. I just looked at that money and said, this is my entertainment. Now, if you're not in that kind of position, then I suggest doing it online. Not online for money, but at least getting used to it. And then, because if he's willing to jump into 1-2 no limit, like you said, you almost never can find a min-max that's not at least 100 now for a buy-in for a 1-2 game. Sometimes it's 60, like you said. Very rarely you can find a $40 1-2 no limit game, but it's very rare. So, for me, I agree with what you said, but I would never want to sit down at limit poker when I fell in love with this game, because I fell in love with the whole no limit aspect, that I can use my stack against you, and I can win a lot too. I can lose a lot, but I was focused on winning a lot. So I wouldn't say jumping into 1-2 is wrong. I would just say it's drastically different from that 2-4 experience you just had.
True.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Very cool. Man, I remember those days. It's funny because you look back, and when you play poker with beginners now and you see them win a pot and they get all excited, it's like, I remember those days.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now it's just like, it's more like, even though it's entertaining and fun, it's more like, it's business, or business as usual when you're playing poker and you're winning pots and stuff. Back then it was like, look at all this money I won. It was so fun. So Dale, keep us up to date. I want to know what you do and how you do.